Hi, this is Elvira from Scrappy Mania, and today I'm going to show you how to create this lovely little doll. And I found a book. I went to my local Fry's store, which is an electronics store here in Arizona, and believe it or not, they had a little section that had like books and things like that for kids, and I found this one. And I looked at it. It had some templates, and it had some guides how to do the dolls. They also have pictures of how you can paint the dolls. And what really interested me in this book is that they had these sketches already in there. And what I did is I pulled some of them out and I traced them with my with a marker. And see how pretty these are? So I traced it with a marker in order to create my dolls. So here's one of the dolls that I traced out, and this one, let me see if I find her. Is this one. Okay, so this one is this one, and it even has a sketch that with no hairdo, so you can go ahead and trace this out and create your own little hairdo there. So, and look how pretty that looks. What I did is I traced her out in paper. So I took another paper and I traced her out, and then I colored her, and after I did all the coloring and everything, I went ahead and put it on the front cover of my journal. I went ahead and did the background of the journal first, and then I pasted her in. So I don't have a video process of doing the cover for this journal, but I thought that I wanted to show you how to create the dolls because I love these dolls. This is one of my favorite. I know how to draw a little bit. I mean, this is a doll that I created hand-free, but I really like this doll. So let me show you how to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and take this one, or actually, let me do this one. And I'm using some papers and a light box. Now I'm using real thick Canson paper, mixed media, the 100, actually this is 98-pound weight, because I noticed with this one I just used regular copy paper and it buckled a little bit and it doesn't handle as well the wet medium, but it's good enough. But I wanted to try out and see if I can do it with the Canson. Now the Canson's a little smaller, so you're going to need a light box in order to do this because it is thicker. If I don't have the light box, you can hardly see the outline, but with the light box it really shines through. So I am using a charcoal pen. This is a graphite from Faber-Castell 4B, and I'm just gonna trace the hairline and the whole doll. I'm using one of those water-soluble charcoal pencils for outlining the whole doll, but you can use regular pencil. You don't have to use a charcoal. And the reason why I'm using the charcoal, because I did see a video from somebody else on YouTube that she used a charcoal pencil to draw her doll, and then when she used watercolor paints on top, the black was smearing a little bit and giving it a nice little outline, and I thought I wanted to try that effect on my doll. But you can use anything you want. You can use a pen if you like and you don't want it smearing and you want to keep the outline intact, or you can use a regular pencil. That will also work. And then here I'm just using my Strattler's watercolor crayons, and these are the wax crayons because I just wanted to kind of play with them as well. And I'm going to use my watercolor to kind of smear everything, but because I used a water-soluble charcoal, and you don't see it that well, but when I did smear, or when I did use my water to kind of blend the watercolors in, I saw a nice little highlights with the black charcoal. It was blending in with the blue color, and I like that. I mean, it looked pretty nice. So that's why I used the water soluble charcoal. And then for the face, even though I used a flesh color crayon, I didn't really like it that much. It was because it's a large surface, it was kind of leaving a little bit of the streak. And that's one thing I don't like about the Stratofor, even though they blend pretty nicely. Sometimes you can see streaks on it because it is a wax crayon and not a nice soft oil crayon. So here I'm just, one common thing I usually like to do is I like to kind of take my crayon and smear it on a surface and then blend it with water and use it like watercolor instead of just blending it on the image itself. Here I'm using some black to again give some definition at the different hairline and layers, and then I'm blending it in with water. And this paint that you see there was actually one of those sample paints that I got at Ace Hardware. And I got a bunch of those skin tone colors, and it's latex paint for 25 cents. And I've been using that for my mixed media, and I really like how it looks and how it kind of covers everything very nicely. However, it's great. What I've discovered with these latex paint, they're great for putting a base color, but if you want to give highlights and lowlights, the best thing to do is to let it dry and then either use some charcoal or use some chalk to kind of blend in on the edges to create those high and lows. And then here I am also using some more of the same latex paint and trying to blend it into the color. You have to do this when it's still kind of wet, otherwise it won't blend very nicely. But it still works. I mean, I like it for 25 cents. It does give a nice coverage. I do like playing with them. It was a steal. So here I'm just putting some more different colors on the eyes, a different green color. And then on her lips, instead of using the crayon on the lips itself, I do kind of put some color off on my mat and then blend it with water and then put that on the lips. So here I'm just I want to give some high and low lights to her hair to make her hair look kind of shiny. So what I did is I put the darker blue on the edges and on the top. And then what I do afterwards, I go in with my white crayon, water-soluble crayon, like you see there, and then I give a little more highlights and shading on that area. I'm using a little bit of my chalk pastels to give rosy cheeks. And then I'm using my white crayon to kind of give it highlights in the bridge of the nose and also underneath her eyelids. But I do go over with it also with Sharpie painters. It does help also to use that to give it some highlights. And then I'm just finishing the outline with my Sharpie marker. And I'm almost done with this doll. I really like how it came out. Okay, here's my doll after I've colored her and give her some highlights. So I use my Sharpie painters to give her some highlights for her eyes, put a little bit on her lips, and then smeared it with my fingertips. And here's my doll. So I hope you liked this video, and thank you for watching. Bye now.